Hi guys, happy new week. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nompumelelo Precious Mhlakwe Intogazizalwa Umamhlongo, and welcome to this topic of the week, which is us focusing on setting smart goals for ourselves. So ideally, what is a goal? So a goal is something that we set for ourselves in order for us to achieve, also an objective or an aim that we have as an individual that we would like to see ourselves achieve, right? So, why do we set these goals for ourselves? For me personally, as my own definition, is that we set goals in order for us to concentrate our energy towards the direction that we'd like to see ourselves take, right? But sometimes we make the error of setting a goal and leaving it there. So, in essence, it just turns into a dream and we don't do anything about it. But until I came across this whole, should I call it an ideology? But ever since I came across smart goals, it helped me realize, Wuti, it's always good to have certain deadlines and to sort of anticipate where my goal is going and if I'll be able to achieve it or not. So, as an individual, after you have concluded sitting or doing your self evaluation as an individual, asking yourself where you are currently and where would you like to see yourself going, and listing the things that you want and need, and then kind of setting those things up on a diagram for yourself to see exactly what can you get done within this year. So remember, we don't have to put our eggs into one basket, because remember, we're focusing our energy in us actually having to complete a goal. So when we say that we are setting a smart goal, we are saying that our goal has to be in, not ideally in this order, but this is what our goal should have. Our goal should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic or relevant, and it should also have time. So when we say our goal should be specific, we have to be able to state what exactly do we want to do. So if you have your goal, it should be specific. What do you want to do? I would like to see myself going to the gym again. Probably that's an example if it's one of the goals that you'd like to state. And if it is measurable, the question then here is asked is, how are we going to measure our goal and what will we use in order to see our progress? So I made an example with me trying to go back to the gym. How will I measure this goal of mine? Of course, with the way that I eat, and of course using a scale, because it'll help me to see if I'm actually achieving my goal. Is it attainable? Is it something that I can accomplish? Yes, it is something that I can accomplish. Is it realistic? So when we're saying is it realistic or relevant, we're being asked here if it is worthwhile and will it meet my needs. Come to think about it, gym is quite a need lately, looking at how things have been. But if you can answer that question for yourself and you say that, is this something that I really need to do in order to change my life? Then go for it. Then still a goal that we need to go for. And then we have to put a time restraint or time frame in it. I prefer using the word deadline, because once you hear the word deadline, this has to be done and it is important. So it's something that you'd like to reach. So maybe if, when we're using the idea of going to gym, where we set a realistic goal for ourselves to say, okay, looking at the busy schedule that you have or the kind of lifestyle that you're living, maybe you're able to go to the gym 3 times in a week. Then set it off like that as 3 times in a week. You get started off with doing 30 minutes on those days and then moving it on to an hour or 2 hours when you're going to the gym. Start investing in a scale so you can see if you are actually making progress in terms of you going to the gym. Not only that, you can also make a commitment of, let me switch up the way that I eat. I've always been munching on sweets, munching on sweets, but how about I change it or switch it up a bit and substitute it with fruit and veg? Because you're trying to get those sugars, then you can substitute it with fruit or veg. So for me, that'd be like the simplest example we can use in terms of how we can tackle moving into our smart goals. And you can either set this up to say if you're doing it for a whole full year thing, or you'd like to see yourself physically fit within 1 year, or is it a lifelong thing where it actually now turns into a daily regimen, on a regular. You know what they say though, once you start doing something for over 21 days, basically a habit. So who knows, it can probably turn into a habit. So this whole structure of us setting smart goals doesn't have to only end in terms of you focusing on a gym lifestyle. This can focus on how you'd like to see your career going, whether you want to study, you going to get your driver's license, even starting to take up the whole journey of reading books again. I'm sure a whole lot of us own books, but we hardly ever make time to actually read a book. Another one over here, dirty. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is, as much as we all keep saying that we'd like to try something with our lives and do something new for the year, it's important for us to actually layer it out and put it into a plan. So excuse me if you see me moving around, I have notes. So I have my rough work for my goals for this year, for 2022. So I've sort of like jotted down my stuff and put down time frames and deadlines just to see what can I do and how often can I do it, just to see if I can actually get through my goals for this year. So from my previous goals, if I had achieved something, this is an old one, don't know if you can see clearly, but I would then put an X on something that I've completed if it was probably before the due date. Then I'll just tick it off, and then stuff that I still need to accomplish, I'd either put a question mark or put a note on the side to say, hey, pending and still needs to be done. So guys, I hope this will be helpful in terms of us setting goals and working on our plans for the year 2022. And I really hope this will be helpful to anyone watching the video. And if you feel that you probably do have family or friends who need something like this, please do not be afraid to share. And also do not forget to click on subscribe and also sign up for getting notifications whenever we load up a new video on the channel. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for tuning in for the week. And also please don't forget to be kind to yourself, kind to those around you, and have an awesome week. Thank you very much. I love y'all. Ciao.